What up, y'all? Flat Earth asshole. Back again for round 4 versus Joe Rogan and Mick West. And this will be the final video, the final exciting conclusion to this series. And since last time, since round 3, Mick West has been very active, very vocal, not only commenting on my YouTube videos, not only commenting on Twitter, now he's joining Flat Earth groups on Facebook. Yes, joining Flat Earth groups on Facebook so he can post pictures of the sun and ask Flat Earthers how the sun works. And now he's also posting about how the Rogers Center is a mirage in different Flat Earth groups, doing all this damage control because he knows Jenniferado destroyed his website and the credibility of his website and himself. So now he's going out like a loser and joining Flat Earth groups. I took this photo today. I was wondering if the Earth is flat, then why is the sun darker at the bottom than at the top? Well, you have trees blocking the bottom of the sun, you idiot. The Rogers Center thing clearly is a mirage. Half of it is upside down, like the surrounding buildings. Derp! Oh, really? Like the surrounding buildings? Where are these upside down buildings that you're talking about? I don't see any upside down buildings in Jenna's video. I see the Rogers Center right there. It's not upside down. That white building is the Rogers Center, not upside down. All the buildings around it don't appear to be upside down either. So exactly where does this mirage begin and end, Mick? Because it seems to me it's only in your mind. You're the only one that sees this mirage. Everyone else actually sees the real Rogers Center. Yeah, that's right. There she is at the water's edge. And when she zooms in, you know what we're all going to see? The Rogers Center. It's not a mirage, Mick. You know damn well it's not a mirage. And you're a huge loser for going around and telling everyone it's a mirage. And you're looking really desperate in doing so. Once again, buildings. Are any of them upside down? No. So what does that make you? That makes you a bold-faced, no-good, cowardly piece of shit liar. What a loser you are, Mick West, joining Flat Earth groups so you can tell everybody that the Rogers Center is a mirage. Okay. It's a good look, buddy. So without further ado, what do you say we break into it? The final conclusion. Flat Earth asshole versus Joe Rogan and Mick West. Let's get cracking! Yeah!
Stupidly obvious proofs that we're not on the flat Earth is that if you get 3 people, you stand one of them at the bottom of South Africa, one of them at the bottom of South America, one of them in Australia, and have them all look south from that position. Now, on the flat Earth, you got one person here, one person here, one person here, and if they all look south, like away from the North Pole, they're all looking in completely different directions. But in the real world, what do they actually see? They all see the exact same constellation, the Southern Cross, right in front of them. So they're all looking in different directions on the flat Earth, but on the round Earth, they're all just looking towards the Southern Cross. So
right.
Yeah, you know, I personally haven't been down there to each of the continents in the Southern Hemisphere, and I haven't seen the Southern Cross myself. But I notice a lot of globetards cling to that Southern Cross like, I can see the stars go this way around a cross and then they go the other way around Polaris. So Flat Earth debunked. Not so fast. You can't keep pointing at stuff in the sky and acting like that gives you a verifiable measurement of proof of curvature right here on the ground you live on. This is where we live. We won't have any arguments if you can just provide me the verifiable measurement of curvature.
shoot a laser across the bay. Here in San Francisco, or here where I live in California, you can go to San Francisco, shoot a laser across the bay. It's miles and miles long in parts across the bay. If you can show me the actual curvature drop across there with a laser, I'd love to see it. But quit pointing in the sky and being like, oh, star trails, that way. And then the star trails go that way, the other way. So what? Tell me how that proves curvature. Oh, if you have people stand here and here and here and look at the stars, well, that means the flat earth map must be wrong. Yeah, well, guess what? A lot of us don't agree with that map to begin with. There's not just one map. I know there's the azimuthal equidistant map, which is popular with many flat earthers, but I personally don't use that map as my end-all be-all. I don't think it's accurate. And personally, I think it was handed to us to not be accurate on purpose. So you might debunk the flat earth map. And I've seen people do a pretty good job at debunking that map. But one thing they don't ever do is show us that verifiable measurement of curvature. That always stumps them. So they're going to cling to, look, the stars go that way. The stars go that way. Look, round planets. Look, the moon has a shadow on it. Yeah, up there, look up there, look up there. Yeah, down here is where the proof is. And that's where we got you guys beat. We proved that down here there's no curvature. So it really doesn't fucking matter what that map looks like. It really doesn't matter where someone stands and what thing they can see in the sky. Those are problems I would like to figure out. But if I don't have them figured out, I still know that the earth below me is flat. There's a lot of things I'll admit that I can't totally explain, but they don't change the fact that the ground below me doesn't have any curvature.
What you're saying?
It's literally impossible to do that on the flat earth.
Right, and you can actually see this and take photographs of the constellations and compare them.
Yeah, and that's something I was talking about with the ground truth thing with stellarium. Like you could go virtually yourself to these places and see what the sky looks from that position. So either stellarium is lying, or these, the Southern Cross does actually appear from these three different positions.
Well, that's another thing that these flat earth people keep bringing up is Polaris. The idea that this one star stays put,
that's a great one,
and that all these other stars rotate around it, and that this is somehow or another proof that the Earth is not spinning. Or that we're on a flat Earth. What's so stupid about that is that people in Australia have a completely different constellation.
That's right, and the stars rotate the other direction around.
Yeah.
I mean, the stars are all coming towards us from the east. So if you look north, they're going that way. If you look south, they're going that way. So they're rotating around the North Star, which actually isn't anything special. It's just the star that happens to be closest to the point, the North Point.
And it changes all the time.
If you zoom in, you can actually see there are stars that are even closer. And if you take a time-lapse of the North Star, it actually makes a little circle.
Well, and also that North Star is not the same North Star as in the past.
Yeah, because the axis of the Earth, there's this thing called precession where the...
every 26,000 years it wobbles.
That wasn't the same one in the past. Were you around 26,000 years ago to know what the last star was, Joe? You or your buddy Mick? Jeez, here we go. See, they like to continue with this. Oh, look up there. Look up there. See, I'm debunking flat Earth. Look up in the sky, you guys. The debunking flat Earth. Yeah, anything to stay away from the fact that there's no curvature down here. Because we beat you down here by showing you that there's no curvature. Jenniferado destroyed your website, so now you want to tell, look up there. Look away from the destruction. Look away from the fact that Jenna destroyed me. Look. Yeah, I don't care what the fuck the stars do. I really don't. I know that's something worth figuring out, in the future. But at right now, at this moment, the curvature on the ground is the thing that wins and loses this argument. I don't care if pink elephants go around each other up there. And on that side, pink elephants... and on that side, orange elephants. It doesn't make the ground start curving. So Polaris being a giant monkey's ass doesn't change what the ground is doing. All right? So like I said, we're going to keep bringing up the stars in the sky and the constellations. And I know eclipses are coming because eclipses have to prove it. Down here, fellas, down here. The curvature either exists or does not exist down here. But everyone wants to talk about what's up there.
Okay.
If you imagine, like, if the universe was suddenly filled with loads and loads of gas, like oxygen, say, and then you stick a big planet in there, all the gas would kind of, like, gravity would bring it down towards this planet.
Well, they don't believe in gravity, though.
Yeah, they don't believe in gravity.
It's electromagnetic. This is my favorite new one. Did you see the fun one where they show that if the Earth was a globe, that all the water would be on the bottom?
Yeah,
this one's wonderful.
I think that was a joke.
You think it's a joke? How could you be so sure?
I thought about the other ones as well. But
No. Bring it up, Jamie. This one's wonderful. I think they're being serious.
yeah, and the gravity thing though, it's kind of like almost irrelevant because we know that things fall down.
Right. But it's electromagnetic something or other.
It's a magical force.
All right, nice straw man attack. We don't say that things fall because of electromagnetism. It's density. Density and buoyancy. All right, so I dropped something. Where do I got? Remote control. So I take this remote, and right now, according to Mick and Joe, gravity's trying to rip this out of my hand towards the ground, and I'm overcoming gravity and holding it here. And then when I release it, the gravity just pulled that remote down towards the center of the Earth, which is actually the magical force of gravity. Now what's really going on is when I release this remote control, it's made of plastic and there's batteries inside. It's significantly more heavy and dense than this air that surrounds it. So naturally, it's going to fall. Right? Now, if I had a helium balloon, which I don't, but if I did, I could fill up a balloon with helium and it will rise. Why does it rise? What is that called? Anti-gravity? No, it's buoyancy. You see, the helium inside the balloon is less dense than the air that surrounds it, so it rises. Take a balloon without helium, just a balloon, and drop it. It will fall. It's more dense than the air that surrounds it. Boom, it falls. You fill it with helium, you can overcome the weight of the balloon itself and gravity. Boom, there it goes, towards the heavens, right? It's buoyancy, density and buoyancy. It's very simple, very easy, not complex at all. Now gravity relies on the assumption that there is a molten core. An assumption. Never been proven that there's a molten core at the Earth in which everything is attracted to. Because the deepest anyone's ever dug down is about 8 miles deep. So we know it's about 8 miles deep, but we've never been to the core, can't say it actually exists. So, if the whole theory of gravity is based on the supposed existence of a molten core, which can't be proven, that means the whole theory of gravity is baseless and bullshit.
You see they have the sun on one side and it's illuminating half the Earth.
Yeah.
And the way it's curved like that.
They think the sun's way closer too, right?
Yeah, they think the sun acts like a spotlight. But he's looking at that, it's not acting like a spotlight. It's illuminating all of the ice wall.
Where's the ice wall?
There's the white stuff around.
Oh, that's the ice wall?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which is actually, it's just a Antarctica stretched into this projection.
Why doesn't one of those dickheads get in a boat and take a photo of that wall?
Well, that's another thing. Like, they think they've got guards all the way around it.
Oh, there are guards.
Yeah. But that's, what is that? That's like 36,000 miles
Of guards?
of guards.
All right, so I don't know if you know this, Joe, but there's plenty of pictures of ice. Plenty of pictures of a supposed ice wall. Why don't one of these dickheads get in a boat and take a picture of the ice wall? Well, many people claim to have pictures of this supposed ice wall. Now, my thing is, we can't see the whole wall as a circle in one picture. So we get to see pieces of an ice wall, right? So I don't know for sure whether this is in Antarctica or the the Arctic. Maybe it's in, you know, northern Alaska, northern Canada. You can take pictures of ice, I would figure. And you would think that that's Antarctica if you didn't know. If I just take a picture, if I'm way up in the Arctic and I take a picture of ice, I could easily say that I was in the Antarctic, right? So having a picture of ice doesn't decide if there's a wall or not a wall. And also I want to bring up that not all flat earthers believe that we're surrounded by an ice wall. I personally say I don't know if we're surrounded by an ice wall because I've never seen a photo of the entire wall. I've seen pictures of ice, but I don't know if it surrounds us. So me being the skeptic I am, I have to assume maybe there's cracks in the ice. Maybe there's not as much ice as they say. Maybe there's more water and more land. So I don't automatically assume that there is an ice wall. So guess what? I don't have to get in my boat and take a picture of shit for you, Joe. And I don't have a boat that's capable of going to Antarctica. I don't know many people who do. I mean, when someone tells me, hey, flat earth asshole, get in your boat and go to the ice wall and then explore Antarctica and then show us where the edge is. It's like, do you really think I can go out in my parking lot of this apartment and my boat is fucking waiting for me and my crew is waiting for me? Like, who has a boat capable of going to Antarctica? Like, even with my fan base and a GoFundMe, I don't think I could secure the funds and a crew to have a full-on boat of people, because I don't know shit about sailing. So whenever you guys do this whole get on your boat and go to the edge and show it, are you serious? Who has that kind of money? Like, get in your plane and fly to the edge. I don't have a plane. Who owns a plane? And do you have unlimited fuel that you're willing to go to Antarctica, like on a whim? Like, what happens if you get there and something goes wrong? It's kind of scary to just head out into the unknown. So saying, hey, why don't you just go do that, you flat tards? It's not like that. It's nothing like that. So even if there are no gods and it's guards, if there are no guards and there is an ice wall, and let's say you were to get there on your boat, what if you looked up and it was 300-foot tall ice wall? I can take a picture, but that's not the whole entire ice wall. I can come back and go, look, I took pictures of ice, but people will say, how do we know you were really there at Antarctica and not just in somewhere else where there's ice, like the Arctic? So again, then what do? Climb up the ice and get on top of it and walk? Do you realize, like, everything that can go wrong? If it's just like ice and snowpack as far as you can see, what happens if you start walking and then there's crevices that are miles deep? What happens if you just start sinking in and can't get back to your boat? They might not even need guards if it's that treacherous. And who's to say that the guards would be on the ice? They'd be in boats. They would get to you before you even got there. If they don't want you to go somewhere, they will pull up alongside of you in a much bigger boat, much more heavily armed, and they will tell you to turn around or they will capsize your vessel. Well, they would have to have a bunch of boats out there patrolling the wall continuously. They have radars and sophisticated technology to track you down and figure out what you're doing long before you ever even got on your boat. If I even did start to make a plan to assemble a crew and get on a boat and go try to explore Antarctica, they would know exactly when I'm coming, who I'm coming with, how many people I got, how much supplies I got, what kind of boat I have, the whole shebang. You know why? Because my phone is a spy device. Yeah, the internet, email, everything. They can just spy on you and figure out when you're coming. So this whole notion that they have guards just standing there and waiting, or that all the boats just have to continuously patrol the ice wall, it's bullshit. CIA, Homeland Security, all that, shit. They're watching us anytime they feel like it. They'll know when you're coming.
In the ocean, and on a freezing ice wall, it's like, you know, the wall from, what was it, Game of Thrones? Except 36,000 miles.
Well, they make up facts, and then they use those facts to kind of state their point. Like, you can't, it's illegal to fly over Antarctica.
Yeah. that's kind of based on like a quarter truth. Like you can't fly a 2-engine jet over Antarctica because if one engine fails, you wouldn't be able to get to an airport. So they only allow 4-engine jets, like 747s, A380s, to fly. So all those flights that you see that go over the Antarctic ice, they're all 747s.
Yeah, because if it fucks up, you're doomed. Yeah, it's a long way with nothing.
There's a set of regulations called ETOPS, which is all about...
Right, okay. So they're going with the whole flat earthers are making up the concept that you're not allowed to fly to Antarctica. Well, if that's the case, and it's totally cool to fly over Antarctica with 4 engines, and why don't they have planes flying over Antarctica commercially? Like, there's so many shortcuts if we just flew over Antarctica, but we don't ever do it. And their reason is because it's too cold. That's right, the plane's instruments will fail due to the extreme cold. So now you guys are making up lies and not mentioning the extreme cold excuse that they give us, even though we can go to the moon in a homeless tweaker shelter. Oh, there's no commercial flights flying over Antarctica. And there actually is a treaty in place that says we aren't allowed to go freely explore Antarctica. So let's not get this twisted and say, oh, flat earthers think they're not allowed to go, but they totally are. No, we're not. There's a treaty in place. We're not allowed to just go freely explore Antarctica.
Today, with things like YouTube, where no one can stop you from making, like, you don't have to go through the people that work at NBC or Fox or whatever. You don't have to go through the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times editorial board where they have to review your paper and go, hey, you wrote a bunch of stuff that's not true. No, that doesn't have to happen anymore. Now you can just make a video, and it can be really well done with good music and good images, and the way it's done can really influence a lot of people who don't have a background in science or are not curious about looking into the debunking version of it. Like, I just want to, whenever someone sends me something, I always say, just Google that, whatever you sent me, and then debunked. Just do that first.
Yeah.
And then look at both sides. You know, but people don't want that debunk. That debunk's not sexy.
Yeah.
The conspiracy's sexy.
I know people are turned off by that.
Yeah, you know, whenever someone comes at me with a conspiracy, I always just say, put that, and then put debunked.
Oh, really? So I guess 9/11 must not be a conspiracy because there are 9/11 debunked videos. There's a debunked video for every single conspiracy. Real conspiracies. And there's a debunked video for every single one of them. And there's a debunked video of the debunked videos. Are we okay to watch those too, Joe? Or only the specific debunked videos that you want us to watch? So if I watch a 9/11 conspiracy video, I have to, by your rule, go watch a 9/11 conspiracy debunked video. Am I then allowed to watch the debunking of that video that said it was debunked? Like right now, I'm debunking Mick West and your bitch ass, Joe. So I guess you need to make a debunking of my debunking of your debunking, huh? That's what I say. Go watch the debunking of the debunking of the debunking and then make your decision. Are you serious? You go watch the debunk thing. All conspiracies are not real because there's a debunking video. So I'd like you to go watch that debunking video. Please? Can I watch the debunking of the debunking video? No! Only watch the debunking video.
Well, let's end it on that because this is literally hurting my brain.
All right.
But what you're doing is very important, and I really want to thank you.
Thank you.
Your website is very important. It's very important for people who are curious and concerned and that don't understand the physics and the logic and the science behind it all. But I've sent your site to many people that believed or don't believe, and we're trying to figure out a way to explain it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being on too. All right, folks, that's it for the week. See ya.
Oh, thank the good Lord I made it through that horrible podcast. Joe, you truly are a controlled piece of shit. And you actually, I'll give you credit, you found an even bigger controlled, even more evil piece of shit than you are to be on your show. Congratulations, fellas. That's right, there are no chemtrails, it's just clouds and water vapor. There was no 9/11 conspiracy. You know, a bunch of brown people that don't like us, you know, they just decided to hijack airplanes and drive them into buildings, and that's how 9/11 went down. And you know what? There are no conspiracies, man. So the earth isn't flat, it's definitely round. You can trust these two guys. They have tons of credibility. You know, like Joe Rogan said, you know, these whack job conspiracy theorists, they get to watching YouTube videos and they don't have any real science. So what you should do, get your science from a UFC color commentator who watches men roll around and lay on top of each other. And get your science from a man who says that those lines in the sky that linger all day long and haze out your sky, yeah, those are just clouds and water vapor. Just get your science from those two individuals and you'll be just fine. Drink your fluoride, get your flu shots, vaccinate your kids. The world is awesome. There are no conspiracy theories. Watch that football game. Tune into Joe Rogan's podcast and everything will be A-okay. Don't you worry about us conspiracy theorists ruining the world. We'll get ours in due time. At this point, Joe, I'm gonna challenge you, mano a mano. I'll debate you anywhere, anytime. You name the location, you name when, I'll debate you. Flat Earth versus Ball Earth. I'll debate you. Moon landing hoax versus moon landing. I'll debate you on any conspiracy and I'll win. I'll destroy you. Why don't we even have you get some help? You think you need help? Because I know you won't debate me by yourself. You're too chicken shit to debate me by yourself. So if you need help, why don't you go get your boy Neil deGrasse Tyson? Go get your boy Bill Nye. I don't care, get both those assholes. I got a few friends I can call up too. But you know what? I'd be glad to chop you up by myself, or I'd be glad to chop up you and Neil deGrasse. And in fact, tell your boy Neil deGrasse I'm coming for him. I'm coming for you, Neil. You're next. You're next. Mick West saw this video. Mick West saw it, Eddie Bravo saw it, Joe Rogan saw it. I don't care if I make a video about the Queen of fucking England. They're gonna see it. I have that effect. Anyone who I've ever made a video about sees my video. I know damn well they do. Every one of them. Koi Fresco, who I made my second versus video against, shut down the comments. Shut down the thumbs up and down after I made my video against him. Fisher of Men removed his video after I made my versus video. Bill Nye, I know he saw it because he fucking claimed my video. And rather than take it down, I just left it up because I didn't want to go back and do it again. Yeah, that's right, Bill Nye claimed my video and is making money on my video about Bill Nye. So I know he's seen it. Eddie Bravo shared this video, so I know you've seen it, Joe. And Mick West, you calling out Jenniferito's proof as a mirage just shows you're a chicken shit with no answers left. We got you backed into a corner. We got you pinned, and you know it. You're running scared, punk. She destroyed your website, and I destroyed both you assholes in this video series. Let this be a lesson to anyone who dares try to debunk the flat earth. The flat earth cannot be debunked, and the flat earth will always win in a debate against the spinning ball of deception, because the flat earth is truth.